Well, we're back at Bourne Park for the second home game of the season. Welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, joined by Adam Gotkin and Devon, Jarvis. The Braves will take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for the first time this season after an off day yesterday where they got to go up to Fenway Park, Adam.
A very cool day for this team, a cool day for this league, something that they get to do every year, the workout at Fenway. And a couple of these Bourne players looked really solid. One of them in particular, Jimmy Keenan, the catcher out of Wake Forest, someone who's draft eligible this year. So the workout really meant a lot for him because, you know, he could potentially get drafted this year, and he's playing in front of so many scouts. He had a number of home runs over the monster. Brendan Holcomb also looked pretty solid, hit one over the monster. And then Riker Waite in the field. We saw what he did last time out against Brewster. He was pretty spectacular on that Major League dirt.
Well, on the mound tonight for us is Noah Franco. What is there to know about him?
Well, what not is there to know about him? He's a very special player, pitcher and hitter. He's a two-way. Maybe not Shohei Ohtani yet, but he, maybe could get there. We'll see. Batted over 300 at TCU in his freshman year, an all Big 12 first-team selection. Beyond that, on the mound in his 8 appearances, allowed 1 run or less in 6 of them. So he's a very, very fun pitcher to watch. Reaches 98 on that fastball, 11 home runs as well offensively in his freshman year. He can do a lot of damage today. We're not sure yet if he's going to be in the batting lineup, but if he is, what a spectacle.
Another newer face for us. We haven't seen him in the lineup tonight, but Peyton Bonds, he pinch ran for us the other night against YD. He looks like he could be a strong player.
Yeah, one of the other new players to this team, Peyton Bonds, and if that's a name that sounds a little bit familiar to you, yes, his uncle is the Barry Bonds. So he's got a lot of power. You can kind of tell that he has that MLB lineage. He's huge, and he's hit a lot of really hard line drives, look to be over 100 miles an hour over batting practice. He's really been impressive when he pinch ran earlier this season. He stole a base, so he's shown off his speed as well. A very exciting prospect that might get into the lineup for the first time today.
Right, well, don't go anywhere. More pregame coverage coming up, and first pitch at 6 p.m. Ariel Tamir-Pinsky now joined by Lyle Alenstein. Lyle, let's talk about this Hyannis team a little bit. They have Brett Landman on the mound for them tonight. What should we know?
6'4", 230 from Abilene Christian, coming off a really strong 2025 campaign. Just under 4 ERA, 79 strikeouts. He's kind of struggled in that scrimmage against Falmouth before the year started, but this is an arm that Bourne has to be prepared for. I can't overthink. He's a really good pitcher.
Well, this should be a good matchup. We've seen it on both sides with Hyannis and Bourne that they fight. Hyannis came back against Chatham in their last game 6-4.
Yeah, it's a top of the ninth. They were trailing 6-4, battled back in the top of the ninth, tied it up 6-6. Game ended up going to extras in Chatham, tied 7-7 because the game, you can only play 1 extra inning here. Bourne hasn't found that same kind of success. They've come up short with their comebacks, but, they got to get the bats going if they want to overcome this one today.
Well, thanks for joining me, Lyle. We'll have more pregame coverage coming up and first pitch soon. Ariel Tamir-Pinsky now joined by Jimmy Keenan from Wake Forest. Jimmy, you hit 3 home runs over the monster yesterday, 2 in a row. What were you thinking to yourself after those 2 in a row?
We're at a historic ballpark and everybody tries to hit one over the monster, so I was like, why not try to do it?
What was that experience like, getting to hit BP in an MLB stadium?
Yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, all of us are here because we hope to be in that position one day, playing a real game there. And seeing Aaron Judge hit one in a game off a 100-mile-an-hour fastball kind of made what we were doing a little bit smaller than it was. But, no, it was definitely a great experience overall.
What would the 8-year-old, 12-year-old version think of that opportunity?
He would probably tell me it's really cool, but hopefully one day you'll be there playing a real game.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Good luck tonight. First pitch coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's first pitch.
Yesterday, the Stars of Tomorrow took over baseball's most historic venue as the Cape Cod League took part in its annual Fenway Day. Today, the teams return back to vacation land as we get division play underway out west. The Bourne Braves take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a rematch of last year's first-round playoff game. Hello and welcome into Bourne Park. I'm Adam Gotkin alongside Devon, Jarvis. Our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, will join us in a little bit. Before we get into this game, Devon, we would like to apologize for the technical difficulties. We're still working through everything in terms of our video broadcast. We hope to have that up and ready to go tomorrow. But into this game, Bourne against the Hyannis. It's a really fun one. And Devon, before we get into the lineups for Bourne on the mound, it's Noah Franco getting the start, a left-hander out of TCU who's got electric stuff.
Yeah, he's a really exciting player, can hit 98 on that fastball. That's what everyone likes to talk about. But when you look into what he's done in his career, he's an unfathomable great hitter, but also as a pitcher, had a 7.3 ERA at TCU, which doesn't really tell the whole story. In his 8 outings, 6 of them he only allowed 1 run or less. He's a great guy.
On the other side, Hyannis goes with the left-hander Brett Landman out of Abilene Christian. And Devon, also a bit of a high ERA for Landman, also from the left side, but definitely less speed from this guy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's got a more solidified resume than Franco on the mound. A 3.5 ERA with a lot of innings pitched. He's going to be a dangerous guy that can go for a lot. Franco might be on a little bit of a limit. This Landman guy is going to be in here for a long time.
Well, why don't you take us through today's lineups, Devon?
Absolutely. Starting things off for the Hyannis Harborhawks, it's Matt Mura out of Hawaii. He's playing left field, and the junior. Jackson Willits will be the shortstop out of Oklahoma, batting second. Andrew Williamson out of UCF is the sophomore playing right field. Ray Velasquez, the designated hitter out of Austin Peay, is a junior. He's batting fourth. Miles Bailey is the fifth slot batter. He's the freshman out of Florida State and playing first base. Chris Rembert out of Auburn is the second baseman today, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Vaughn Lackey, the catcher out of Georgia Tech. Batting eighth, Jason Walk, the center fielder out of Oklahoma. And batting ninth, Jake Schaffner, the North Dakota State third baseman, which is a sophomore. For the other side, Bourne Braves, Peyton Bonds will be making his Bourne Brave debut out of Rutgers. He's playing designated hitter and batting first. John LeGrand, the usual leadoff hitter, the center fielder, is batting second out of St. John's. Cade Lewis, the typical 3-hitter, stays in that spot out of Wake Forest, the third baseman. Braden Holcomb is batting cleanup out of Vanderbilt. He's playing right field. Logan Hughes out of Texas Tech is the left fielder today, batting fifth. Weber Neals, the first baseman, typical catcher, now first baseman out of Minnesota, is batting sixth. Batting seventh is Campbell Smithwick in the transfer portal, but just spent his most recent season at Ole Miss. He's the catcher. Bryce Molinaro, batting eighth out of Penn State, is the second baseman. And rounding out the lineup for the Bourne Braves is Riker Waite, the shortstop out of Vanderbilt.
Well, thanks so much, Devon. We are just about ready to get going. An absolutely beautiful day, the hottest one that we've had yet of the summer. Reached the 80s today. Very windy, about 15 to 20 mile-an-hour winds, south-southwest, which here at this ballpark can make an already big ballpark feel very small. Bourne in its all-white home uniforms with the red numbers and blue socks. Hyannis in the road orange uniforms, a University of Texas-style burnt orange with the gray pants and blue helmets, white numbering. Franco into the line, the first pitch of the game. Fastball upstairs at 94 miles an hour. The count 1-0.
He's just going to be a really fun guy to watch. He's got great stuff, and when he doesn't get out of control, is a really tough batter to go against.
First 1-0 is popped up. That'll stay in the infield on the right side. The first baseman, Niels, moves over into the foul territory, and it drops on the ground. Smithwick and Niels with a miscommunication. The wind definitely not helping out. That bounces in foul territory. And with it being a foul ball, it's a strike to count 1-1.
Yeah, there's the wind in play for you. They lined up about 5 feet right of where it ended up going. Wind blew it left, and they couldn't make the grab.
Franco, a big guy out there on the mound, 6'3", 205. The left-hander comes into the line. The pitch hit hard towards left field. Hughes watches it drop in front of him. One hops into the glove of the left fielder, and it's a leadoff single for Matthew Mura to get the game going for the Hyannis Harborhawks.
It's really the pitching that's been the criticism of the Bourne Braves season so far. They've been solid, just a few blow-up innings. That's blemishing the resume. If they can hone in on this and really shut down the Hyannis batch, which have been pretty good, the most runs scored of any team so far, then it should be a much easier game for the Braves.
Jackson Willits stands into the box. Right-handed hitter out of the University of Oklahoma. Franco from the stretch for the first time. He looks over, runner goes, pitch on its way, a fastball. Throw into second is not in time. Muro was speeding very quickly from first to second, and he got a great jump. And so just like that, it's a runner in scoring position for the Harborhawks, just as this game is getting going. Willits at the plate, making his Harborhawks debut, played for the Falmouth Commodores last summer, so not new to the Cape League. Franco kicks and deals, and it's fouled off down the first base line. count. I believe one ball and one strike it is. They were a little bit late on the scoreboard, and that first pitch where Mura stole was a ball. Willits stands back in. He's got his maroon bat behind his right shoulder. The 1-1 inside, and that gets to the backstop. Mura is into third base, standing up. Not even a play, and definitely not how Noah Franco wanted to get started out on the mound. Single, a stolen base, and a wild pitch puts a runner 90 feet away with no one gone here in the top of the first.
Control is going to be a big element for Franco this game. Throws really fast, but doesn't have a lot of innings under his belt, only 12 in his freshman season. If he can keep it under control, it's going to be a tough day for Hyannis. If not, a tough day for Bourne.
The 2-1. Willits bounces it back up the middle. Wait, the shortstop ranging. He dives and he brings it in, but doesn't get a throw off. Mura comes in to score. Willits safe at first with an infield single, and it's Harbor Hawks 1, Braves nothing here in the top of the first.
Yeah, not the way you wanted to start if you're the Braves. We talk about this all the time, but they have to make sure they limit what Hyannis does here. They've already got runners on the bases, still no outs. Just focus on one out at a time.
Willits starts off his Cape season with an RBI single that brings up Andrew Williamson, the first left-handed hitter of the day for Hyannis. Franco looks over to first and fires in a pickoff attempt, but back in standing is Willits. Williamson hitting 154 on the young season, one of 3 Harbor Hawks who's played in all 4 games to get things going. Franco looks in, another look to first, now comes to the plate. It's bounced hard through the right side for a base hit. Willits gets the stop sign at second. It's 3 singles to get us going here in the top of the first. Hyannis already up 1-0, and there's no signs that they'll slow down. It'll bring the designated hitter Raymond Velasquez to the plate. He's been Hyannis' best batter through 4 games, hitting .400. He's got 2 RBIs. Runner in scoring position here with no one gone in the top of the first. The right-handed hitting Velasquez stands in. Franco looks back to second. First pitch. Misses inside. It bounced in front of the plate as well. And now we're close to the zone. Count 1-0. Velasquez out of Austin P. He's a local guy, native of Lowell, Massachusetts, right near the New Hampshire border, about an hour north of Boston. Transferred to Austin P from Vanderbilt. Big lead at second for Willits. He stays there as the pitch is a fastball high. The count 2-0. Velasquez played in just 3 games at Vanderbilt before deciding to transfer. He's a rising senior. The 2-0. Fastball outside, and the count 3-0. In his first season with Austin P, Velasquez played in 50 games and hit .364. So when he finally got the chance to show what he can do, he played incredible. Now trying to bring that to the Cape. 3 balls, no strikes the count. Franco looks back to second. Here's the pitch. In for a strike. It barely catches the zone. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Franco's velocity not where we were expecting it.
No. He's living in the low 90s right now, Adam. And we saw high 90s before. Maybe it's just nerves.
The 3-1. Low and inside, ball 4. So 3 singles and then a walk. That's all that Scott Landers can see before heading out onto the mound. Bourne's manager, but also dugout pitching coach making his way out as Noah Franco has loaded the bases here in the top of the first inning. 1 run has already crossed. And where we stand, Jackson Willits at third, Andrew Williamson at second, and Raymond Velasquez at first. Miles Bailey will be the next to the plate as Scott Landers makes his way back towards the dugout, walking slowly.
Maybe only enough time on the mound for a sentence. That tells me that Franco has confidence. He just needs to deliver the right stuff, and Landers has confidence in Franco. He's in the Cape League because he wants to pitch. He's a phenomenal batter, hit a home run on Tuesday against Brewster. Just needs to find the other element of this game.
No outs, bases loaded. Harbor Hawks are already up 1-0. First pitch to Bailey. Bounces in front of the plate, ball one. Bailey, a big lefty out of Florida State. Rising sophomore, 6'4", 257. Takes up a lot of room in that left-handed box. He's a native of Tallahassee. Went 0 for 4 last time out. 1-0, popped up very high in the air, third base side. Lewis moving towards the Bourne dugout. He moves back, and that bounces off the roof of the dugout. Foul ball, and the count 1-1. Bourne has played just one home game this season, 1-0, a win over Chatham. Hyannis on the road, 0-1-1 this season. Franco into the wind, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, went with the fastball upstairs. Franco finally ahead in a count, it's 1-2. The big left-hander takes a long look in and a deep breath. At the belt, into the wind, here's the pitch. Up and in on a fastball. At a 94, it's 2-2.
This Bourne team has greatly struggled with command to this point. They'll get ahead in counts, walk batters, make it an at-bat when it really shouldn't be.
Ducks all around the pond, the 2-2. Bounces in the dirt away from Smithwick, but he keeps it close enough as that bounce to the left of the catcher who's in the transfer portal. That moves the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the top of the first. The base is loaded, so a ball would bring home Jackson Willits from third. Andrew Williamson is 90 feet behind him at second. Raymond Velasquez at first. The payoff pitch to Bailey is hit hard towards short, into the glove of Waite. He throws to first, and it's not in time. Velasquez just barely makes it back to the bag. Almost a double play there on the line out to short. It is just 1 out, but a key one, the first to the top of the first. Bases still loaded, 1 run's already crossed. Chris Rembert, the second baseman out of Auburn, steps up. He is 2 for 9 on the young season. Still searching for his first RBI. Franco gets his sign on the PitchCom device. Looks in, comes into the wind. First pitch, hit high and hard towards left center field. LaGrange moving back, and that bounces in front of the wall. Takes a hard hop off the warning track and over. It's an automatic double. 2 runs come in. Willits from third, Williamson at second. With the ball bouncing over, Velasquez has to stop at third. But it's a 2 RBI automatic double for Chris Rembert, and it's 3-0 Harbor Hawks here in the top of the first.
Yeah, all over that fastball was Rembert, and Franco's not finding really what makes his fastball so difficult to hit, which is his velocity. Again, low 90s right now, reaches close to 100 at school.
Catcher Von Lackey at the plate. First pitch, in for a strike on an off-speed 0-1. Runners still on second and third. Velasquez, the lead runner, 90 feet away, with Rembert behind him after the double. It's 3-0 Harbor Hawks. The 0-1. Bounce towards the third base side. Backhand grab from Wade. He throws to first. Unbelievable. How in the world did Riker Waite do that? The shortstop flashing the glove, a backhand snag, and a throw to first. Somehow gets the runner Lackey and also holds the runners where they are. And so it brings Jason Walk to the plate with 2 outs and runners on second and third.
He's in the size of a second baseman, but plays shortstop like he has a 7-foot wingspan. Easily some of the most special talents we've seen so far.
First pitch, a fastball upstairs to Walk, and the count 1-0. So it's still two in scoring position. With Rembert's speed at second, a base hit would surely score both. 1-0. Inside breaking ball. Went with the slider in the count 2-0. Infield moves back to regular depth. As the number 8 hitter and center fielder Walk stands in. 2-0 pitch. Outside fastball 3-0. Walk out of Oklahoma, making his Cape League debut today. Just finished up his sophomore season with the Sooners. 3-0. Finds the zone on a fastball at just 92, and it's 3-1.
Bourne has 17 walks on the young season. That's tied 5th in the Cape right now. They've already walked in 2 runs this season as well.
3-1. Bouncer towards second. Molinaro fields it right in between his legs and throws sidearm to first. It's in time to retire Walk. So a really rough start to the inning for Noah Franco. He lets 3 singles against the first 3 runners that he sees and then walks them in, but gets out of it, giving up just 3 runs. Just like that, we're in to the bottom of the first inning with the score 3-0 Harbor Hawks.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Well, not the start to the game that the Bourne Braves were hoping for. Hyannis takes a 3-0 lead after the top of the first. We're into the bottom of the first. The Bourne Bats getting ready to head to the plate for the first time, and they'll take on a left-hander out of Abilene Christian, Brett Landman. He's an older guy, and what should we expect out of him, Devon?
Well, he's got a lot of experience. Out of Abilene Christian, 72 innings pitched this most recent season, of 3.5 ERA with a lot of strikeouts.
Peyton Bonds, the designated hitter, will lead off for Bourne. The right-hander out of Rutgers made his Braves debut as a pinch runner last time out against Brewster and stole a base. Now we'll see what he can do at the plate for the first time. If that last name Bonds sounds familiar, yes, his uncle is Barry. Peyton at the plate has a similar massive frame, a very imposing hitter in the box. He stands at 6'5", 225. Landman, the lefty, looks in. Bonds gets ready to dig into the box. The umpires say we are ready to get going. Will Bowers is the man calling balls and strikes. He says play ball. Landman looks in beyond his glove. First pitch to Bonds is a fastball that misses outside. The count 1-0. J.C. Fernandez, the umpire, at first. Connor Tierney at third. Just 3 umps in the Cape League, so those first and third base umpires rotate. The 1-0. In the dirt, bounces on the plate. 2-0 the count to Bonds. The right-hander at the plate, a native of Franklin, New Jersey, went to Franklin High School. Was happy to go back home to Rutgers. 2-0. Popped up foul out of play over the first base dugout. He spent his freshman season at Campbell, but left the Campbells, a tough name to say. Left them after the coach left. Every single player on that team entered the portal after the 2024 season. Landman winds and deals. A looping off speed misses the zone high. 3-1 the count to Bonds. Bourne would love to get one back after giving up 3 in the top of the first. Bonds, the leadoff man, deep into the count. 3-1. Hit hard towards left center field. Walk moving to his right. He looks back, and that one bounces over the fence. Took a hard hop off the warning track, and that's the second automatic double of the game here in just the bottom of the first inning. Oh, they're giving him a home run. Oh, there's no way. That bounced in front of the fence. Mitch Carricker, the Hyannis manager, is on his way out of the dugout to talk to Connor Tierney. I mean, look, we are the Bourne broadcasters, Devon, but that bounced in front of the fence. That is an automatic double, not a home run.
Unless in center field. Jason Walk is the greatest actor of all time.
No, there is no way.
The ball bounced in front of the fence, and the body language of Walk said it did the same thing. He put two hands up.
There is no way. I mean, you don't want to win a game off of a wrong call, and that ball could not have more clearly bounced in front of the fence.
It surely did.
There is a big drop-off, a hill that goes down beyond the fence, so you know when it goes past the fence. It also is much softer back there. There is no way that a ball would have bounced that high unless it hit off the warning track. The umpire's in a conversation between the mounds and home plate. Now the home plate umpire, Will Bowers, is walking towards the dugout. He wants to talk to Scott Landers.
And Scott Landers, of course, will always take the position
of it being a home run.
Correct.
But that was a double, and they should get this right on the field. That 1,000% bounce. There is no doubt in my mind.
Let's see how they call this one. It does seem like Landers is arguing against both Connor Tierney and Will Bowers here.
Bonds knows it's not a home run. He's still standing in the third base coach's box. He would be in the dugout if he thought it was one. That could not have more clearly bounced on the warning track. But we'll see. They're still talking it over. Landers having a conversation with Bowers.
And Adam, home run or double, what a debut for Bonds, right?
So they do put Peyton Bonds at second. So the umpires make the right call. The Bourne crowd not too happy with it. Scott Landers isn't happy either.
I love that call, Blue.
Yeah, Landers saying, who's the one who made the call? So Scott Landers is saying, who's the one who made the call that it wasn't a home run? Because Tierney said it was. The home plate umpire, Will Bowers, is saying, we got it right. We're supposed to get it right. But Landers is saying, who's the one who made the call? Who overturned it? And there's a reason for him to be frustrated because instead it's a double. Landers still barking as he heads back to the dugout. He now settles back in as after a very eventful first batter, John LeGrand makes his way into the box with Peyton Bonds standing at second. But either way, a great start for Bonds, as you were saying, Devon. To hit that ball 100 miles an hour off the bat for a leadoff double. Exactly the offense that Bourne was looking for after giving up 3 in the top of the first. LeGrand, 375 batter on the season. He's got 1 RBI. Lamb, the lefty, looks in. Left-handed hitter LeGrand awaits. Look back to second. Kick in the first pitch. Hit high and hard towards right field. Williamson moving back. He settles under it. Bonds waiting to tag. He's on his way towards third. The throw's a good one. Head first dive. And the throw not in time. Bonds tags up to third, and Bourne has a runner 90 feet away here with 1 gone in the bottom of the first.
LeGrand doing his job right there. Gets one out to right field, and you can again see the speed of Bonds. We saw him steal it back on Tuesday against Brewster. He got into third in no time at all. It was a great tag up.
Okay, Lewis steps to the plate, the lefty, the other guy in contention for Bourne's best hitter 4 games in, hitting .375 with 3 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch with 1 out is a swing and a miss. Nice off-speed, 79-mile-an-hour slider, the count 0-1.
There's one thing we've seen from Bourne this season. It's their ability to respond offensively. After they give up runs, they come out there and put some up of their own.
Team leader in RBIs at the plate. 0-1 pitch. Another looper catches the zone on the outside part of the plate. The count 0-2. Lewis takes his time and now digs back into the left-handed box. Bright red batting gloves as he rests that bat on his left shoulder. 0-2. Hit in the air, left center field. That drops for a base hit. Bond scores from third. The left fielder Muro fields it and throws it in as Cade Lewis stands on first with an RBI single. It's Hyannis 3, Bourne 1 in the bottom of the first inning.
An excellent job by Lewis. He's continuing to add to his RBI total and such a smooth swing. He's not super flashy in the batter's box, but gets base hits for RBIs and doubles when he needs to, showing it right there.
It brings Braden Holcomb to the plate. One of the Bravos who has played in all 4 games this season. He's in right field today. That's not necessarily been the start that Bourne's power hitter's been looking for, hitting just 188. Hit 333 last season as a Cape League All-Star. Runner on first, 1 out, first pitch. Misses in the dirt, bounced off the plate. A fastball at 92, the count 1-0 to Holcomb.
Still a long season, and Braden, especially in these last 3 days, has gotten a lot more comfortable in the batter's box with that wood bat, launching a good number of home runs in today's batting practice.
We've seen a lot of guys swing better over the last few days during BP. Lamon's 1-0, fouled back. Fastball outside part of the plate. Holcomb just got a piece of it. Count 1-1. Logan Hughes on deck. Weber Neal's in the hole. A lot of power in this Bourne lineup. Everyone from the number 2 to the number 6 spot has at least one double on the season. 2 home runs for Bourne in just 4 games. They come off the bat of Hughes on deck, and the starting pitcher today, Noah Franco. Lamon, a left-hander, set at the belt. 1-1. A looper inside for a strike. 1-2.
Just shows you the versatility and the depth of this Bourne offense so far. They're leading the Cape in slugging and OPS and average. Really the star of this show. Just have not been able to convert with runners in scoring position.
Runner on first, 1 gone, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball up at 93, high of the zone. Holcomb couldn't hold up. That's the first strikeout of the game for the left-hander Brett Lamon. It brings Logan Hughes to the plate. With the runner still on first and 2 gone. Bourne down 3-1 here in the bottom of the first. Hughes a left-hander, hitting 114 this season. Again, he's got a double. He also hit a home run back on opening day. This is only RBI of the season. First pitch, fouled straight back on a fastball.
Such a promising batter. We've seen him shift around defensively, but since that first game just hasn't had it. No hits since that double and home run against Harwich on opening day, and still looking to get back in the groove.
Lamon brings ball to glove at the belt. He looks to first at Lewis. Kicks and deals. A bouncer back up the middle. The shortstop Willits has it, fires to first, and it's in time for out number 3. A nice play by Jackson Willits, the shortstop who went from the left side of second all the way to the right to field it. A really solid day for him in his Cape League debut. An RBI single in the top of the first and a ground out there to end the bottom of the first. Before we step aside, we do have a few advertisements for you. We'd like to give a special thanks to Keystone Place. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace@BuzzardsBay.com. Also, Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at MartyChevrolet.com, and go Braves. We'll be back in one moment for the start of the second.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Top of the second time from Durham Park, 3-1 Harbor Hawks. Noah Franco into the line, first pitch. Misses upstairs to the number 9 hitter, Jake Schaffner. Third baseman, 3 for 8 on the young season. A left-hander stands in. The lefty on the mound, Franco, kicks and deals. A slow roller towards first, backhanded by Lewis. He flips it underhand, and the pitcher, Franco, off the mound, showing that he is an athlete, the two-way man. Steps on the bag in time to retire Schaffner. And there's a quick first out for Franco, one that he really needed after that tough top of the first where 3 runs crossed.
Bourne's so much more effective in these games when they retire the opening batter. They've so often put runners on to start, and that's why their defense just hasn't been what you hoped so far this season. That was their identity last year. It's kind of flipped, where this year it's the batting.
Now Matthew Mura stands in. First pitch from Franco. Up and outside fastball, 1-0. Mura singled to lead off the game. He then stole second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and came home on the Jackson Willits RBI single. Franco winds and deals. A slow chopper towards third, fielded in foul territory, and throw to first is not going to matter. By the way, apologies, that is Niels at first, not Lewis. Lewis is the third baseman today. Weber Niels playing at first for the first time this season.
We could get a bingo card for Weber Niels on which positions he hasn't played.
Bourne has really rotated the first baseman this season. Lewis played at game 1, Holcomb game 2, Hughes in game 3 and 4, and then Weber Niels has it today. So 5 games, 4 different first basemen. Today it's Niels, as we're still waiting for this next pitch to come. Noah Franco's looking all the way around, as finally the home plate umpire Will Bauer says let's get going, and Matthew Mura, the right-hander, stands back in the box. 1-1. Up and outside fastball got way away from Franco. That just slipped out of his hands and went all the way to the brick backstop. The count 2-1.
Would have been behind a lefty batter.
Reminded me of a pitch last night in the Nationals-Rockies game that went way away. The 2-1. Fastball in for a strike, 2-2. Although after that, the Rockies pitcher came back with, what, 3 straight strikes?
3 straight strikes, painted the edge. That pitch right there painted the outside edge, so maybe he does it again.
2-2. Fouled off the plate and down the third base line, 2-2. I did mention that Nats-Rockies series. I got to get it in for a second. My goodness, my Washington Nationals.
Not pretty.
No, but they won today, finally. First time in, I think, 11 or 12 games. James Wood walk-off 2-homer day. 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
I was with you, though, and you didn't have any optimism.
Yeah, no, when you lose 12 in a row, it's hard to believe. It is crazy, though, that a 12-game losing streak in Major League Baseball is long, but not that much. Out here on the Cape League, it's a 40-game season, so that's most of your year. 3-2, fastball up and outside. That's a walk. Ball 4, Matthew Mura reaches for the second time today. That'll bring Jackson Willits to the plate. But back to that point, the Cape League is such a quick season that, you know, what seems like a really long losing streak isn't really that long in terms of baseball. Last season, Harwich went on an 11-game losing streak and then won the championship.
Well, you could also attribute that to players, too. We were talking the other day. You know, a 30-game slump in the MLB the whole season here in the Cape.
Jackson Willits stands in. He'll have to wait for the first pitch as Mura throws over. Willits in his first inning looked pretty spectacular, both in the field and at the plate. Had that RBI single to bring home the first run, and then made an incredible play to show off his range at short to get the third out. Franco again throws over. Back in again, standing up is Mura. The lefty on the mound trying to keep the speedy leadoff hitter close after he stole second in the last inning. He's the first of 3 Harbor Hawks to cross home. 1 Bravo did score in the bottom of the first, so it is just a 2-run game. The pitch, fouled off, bounces off the catcher Smithwick, and to the backstop, the count 0-1 to Willits. Willits, in the transition from the Big 12 to the SEC with Oklahoma, got a lot better. Improved his batting average as the 0-1 is hit into right field, just past the glove of the first baseman Niels. It rolls slowly, so Mura's easily into third base without a throw. And it's runners on the corners with 1 gone here in the top of the second. This Hyannis offense continues to rack up singles. It's the 4th single of this game, the 5th hit. Sends Andrew Williamson to the plate.
No action in the bullpen as of yet for Bourne. Franco in another tough situation here. Just has to throw strikes. That's the biggest thing we've said about this Bourne pitching staff so far this season is Adam, throw strikes.
Well, the lefty looks in. Runners on the corners with one gone, and once again another throw over. Willett's back in standing up this time. Williamson, the left-handed hitter, digs in. He's already got 3 RBIs this season. A ball in play would make it 4. The pitch, swing and a miss. Big hack at the slider. McCann 0-1. So Franco gets ahead here. Another solid crowd at Dorham Park on this beautiful Thursday evening. Franco trying to give this home crowd something to cheer about. There hasn't been much early on other than that 1 run scored, but down 3-1 early. Did attempt another throw over, but the pitcher back with the ball in his glove. Southpaw now leans in with his long left arm hanging down. Brings ball to glove at the belt. Franco looks over to first, then throws over once again.
He might be able to get him on one of these if he comes home with it. The double steal always in play. Mira might want to take a step, rather Willits.
Infield and double play depth. The 0-1 on its way. That bounces in the other batter's box. It's 1-1. Big crowd today also, probably partially due to the federal holiday today. And that had a big impact on traffic. It took Devon and I what usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get here to Dorham Park, about 40 with traffic over the bridge. 1-1, hit very high. It'll stay in the infield on the first base side, but drift foul out of play, and it's 1-2. We're already seeing the midsummer traffic. Of course, Cape Cod is, I guess, technically not an island, but an island because of the canal.
Yep.
Was man-made an island, and there's only 2 ways to get over, either the Bourne Bridge or the Sagamore Bridge. Dorham Park, the first right after the Bourne Bridge when you take the last exit on the roundabout. 1-2, another pickoff attempt first. So when there's bridge traffic, it definitely affects Dorham Park and unfortunately affects our commute. But we made it here in time. In time for Hyannis to take a 3-1 lead. Top of the second, the 1-2 in the dirt. Smithwick jumped up to make sure the runners stay where they are. Those runners, Mira at third, Willits at first. Williamson, the left-handed hitter, getting ready to dig back into the box. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice slider outside of the zone, almost in that right-handed batter's box.
Now batting, Austin.
There's out number 2 of the top of the second. Ray Velasquez, the designated hitter, back to the plate. He walked and was stranded at third in the last inning. Would love to avenge that and bring home a run here. He's got Mira 90 feet away, Willits at first. Franco looks over the dugout and leans in. To the belt. Kicking the pitch, runner going. It's in for a strike. Smithwick thought about throwing to second, was going to pocket it, and ended up spiking the throw straight to the ground. He laughs as luckily that stayed next to him. It kept Mura at bay, but that could have gotten ugly if it bounced away.
It was almost a better fake than the pump fake because Mira almost bit on it. He wasn't even thinking about the pump fake, though.
Now 2 in scoring position with 2 gone in the top of the second. The 0-1 from Franco. Fouled off down the right field line, 0-2. Southpaw to TCU, says no to the first sign. Still looking, and now he accepts and looks in to get out of the inning, the 0-2. Half swing, did he go? No, he did not. Bourne crowd not too happy with it. They thought that another slider got Velasquez to chase, but No, the right-handed hitter steps back in with the count 1-2. Franco set, wind in the pitch, up and outside, another slider, 2-2. Franco takes a deep breath. Love at the belt, he looks in. Into the wind, the high kick in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball outside. Velasquez couldn't hold up. And Noah Franco works out of a jam in the top of the second with a pair of Ks to get out of it. We're into the bottom of the second. Bourne down by 2. It's 6-7-8 due up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Bottom of the second inning from Dorn Park. It's Hyannis 3, Bourne 1. Brett Landman, the left-hander, back out onto the mound. It was a bit of a rocky start in that bottom of the first after the pretty chaotic leadoff automatic double in which it was initially called a home run. Landman gave up a RBI single to Cade Lewis before getting out of the inning on a strikeout and ground out. He faces off against 6, 7, 8 in this Bourne order. Weber Neal's the first baseman out of Minnesota. Leads off. The right-hander stands in the box. First pitch. Bounces in front of the plate. A fastball. The count 1-0. Neal's hitting .333. He's been the designated hitter. He's caught. And of course, today on the right side of the infield. The 1-0. Bounces in front of the plate again. Landman not too happy with himself. He slams his glove against his right thigh as he receives the ball back from the catcher, Lackey, and digs into the mound. The left-hander looks in. Glove in front of his face into the wind, the 2-0. Fastball just in for a strike on the inside part of the plate. Neal's waving his bat pretty quickly behind his right ear. 2-1. Hit hard, foul down the third base line. That was an absolute rocket. 101 off the bat. Bounced off the netting and back into the field of play. So Schaffner, the third baseman, runs in and throws the ball to the third base coach, Jeff Limoncelli. Landman looks in again. Into the wind. The offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball down the middle. Neal's couldn't connect. That's the second strikeout for Landman. And out number 1 at the bottom of the second.
Number 45, Campbell Smithwick.
Campbell Smithwick, the catcher, digs into the left-handed box. He's 2 for 7 on the season. Landman wise and deals. Called strike on a fastball. 91 miles an hour again, 0-1. You know, it's interesting. Landman's fastball is a mile an hour above what he usually throws. As the 1-0. bounces in the dirt, 1-1. For the regular season at Abilene Christian, the lefty was usually sitting 89 and 90. Today he's been 90, upwards of 91, 92. It was the opposite for Bourne starter Noah Franco. Tops out at 98. Today was sitting 93, 94. The 1-1. Outside, another off speed, 2-1. Smithwick, a patient hitter. The catcher has walked once this season. The 2-1. This is inside, 3-1. Left on left. Bourne down 3-1 here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 pitch. Popped up third base side, drifting out of play, and it drops right next to the concession stands, right next to the line, where everyone's waiting to order. Count runs full to 3-2.
Guess it keeps them paying attention to the game while waiting for snacks.
Yeah, you can't be too locked in on the menu. Lemon looking for his second straight strikeout. The left-hander looks into the wind. The payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Fastball upstairs. Smithwick swung way under it. That's strike three, strikeout number 3 of the young evening for Brett Lamon. Out number 2 at the bottom of the second.
Holcomb and Smithwick both went down with that super high heater. Wasn't even in the zone for either of them, but it's because Lamon has this kind of low exit point of release. Makes those high fastballs just look a little bit more in the zone.
First pitch to Bryce Molinaro. Upstairs fastball, a called strike, 0-1. Molinaro 1 for 9 this year. The second baseman out of Penn State. Strikeouts have been a bit of an issue, 4 already. 0-1. Called strike on a fastball at the numbers. 0-2. Bourne offense has struck out the third most times of any team coming into today. 0-2. Called strike 3. Fastball outside part of the plate. Brett Lamon strikes out the side in the bottom of the second. We're into the third with the score 3-1 Hyannis on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Time for the top of the third. Hyannis up 3-1 over Bourne. Adam Gotkin, Devon Jarvis with you. Our sideline reporter Ariel Tamir-Pinsky will join us later on. Noah Franco back out onto the mound for his third inning. It was a very rocky start for the left-hander. Gave up 3 runs in the top of the first. Gave up 3 straight singles to start his Cape League career on the mound, but ended up getting out of that jam, stranding runners on second and third. His first pitch to Miles Bailey. Up and in, watch out. That almost hit Bailey, and it actually did. Just barely nicked him on the jersey. And the leadoff man on for Hyannis. Once again, it's the second time today that the Harbor Hawks have had their leadoff man on. There's just been so many base runners on. In the last inning when Hyannis didn't play to run, it stranded runners on second and third, and Scott Landers does not like what he's seen. Too many base runners on, so he heads out onto the mound and points to the bullpen. It's a new pitcher for Bourne here in the top of the third. That does it for Noah Franco. His final line, 2 innings pitched. He gave up 5 hits, walked 2, gave up 3 runs, all 3 earned. We'll step aside. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Welcome back into Durham Park. We're still in the top of the third inning. Hyannis still leads Bourne 3-1. Noah Franco, the starter for the Bravos, his day is done out on the mound after a rough outing. He, in 2 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Gives way for the new pitcher, the right-hander out of Texas Tech, Logan Beavis. He stands at 6'7", 215 pounds. Pitched in 15 games this past season for the Red Raiders with a 7.04 ERA in 23 innings. He walked 14 and struck out 12. On the mound in the Cape for the first time, he's got a runner on first. That's Miles Bailey after the hit-by pitch to start off the top of the third. Chris Rembert steps into the box, the second baseman out of Auburn. Hit a 2 RBI double his first time up today. Beavis, his first pitch, is a bouncer towards the third baseman, Lewis. It goes through his hands and stays right on the ground. An E5 against Cade Lewis. He just couldn't pick it up. Tried to field it with 2 hands, and it slipped between both of them.
What's unfortunate is that's Bourne they've been putting a couple games together without an error defensively, and it's just that one right there that you can't let get by. On Tuesday, Cade Lewis couldn't field the ball correctly, kind of got tripped up, limited what could have been a double play, and the same thing right there.
It brings up Vaughn Lackey. He grounded out to short his first time up. Had 2 runners on then, has 2 runners on again. First pitch. In for a strike on a fastball at the knees, 0-1. It's a tough way for a pitcher to start, Devon, to have an error on your first batter faced. But
Yeah.
He'll have to put that behind him.
Regardless is if it's under your control or not, it still gets to you.
The kick in the 0-1. Misses low and outside. 1-1. Fastball at 93 miles an hour for Beavis, but with his big frame at 6'7", it looks a lot faster. That release point is closer to the mounds than most guys. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Took some off on the changeup. It's 1-2. Beavis pitched last summer in the NECBL for the Ocean State Waves, was one of their primary closers. Struck out 25 in 16 innings. Looking for K number 1 here. The 1-2. Slow roller down the right field line, foul towards the Hyannis dugout. Beavis was one of the few Bravos who had yet to make their debut. Most of them now have. There was one roster change today. Andrew Healy released, and Cam Seagraves added, a pitcher out of UNC. 1-2. Another bouncer, this time off the plate. It's 2-2.
It's going to be fun to see how Beavis shakes out. We saw his teammate at Texas Tech, Zane Petty, play a few days ago as well, and he had a really solid outing. Maybe a lot of good Texas Tech players. Logan Hughes as well.
Last season, Zach Crotchfeld, who pitched for Bourne, had transferred to Texas Tech. 2-2 to Lackey. Here it comes. Popped up straight in the air. Left side of the infield. Weight moving in onto the grass. He makes the catch for out number 1. Nice job by Beavis to bounce back after giving up that error to the first man he saw. Forces the pop out, and it brings Jason Walk to the plate. Left-handed hitting center fielder. Grounded out to second his first time up. That was his first plate appearance of the summer. Beavis steps back on. A former Big 12 battle, Texas Tech against Oklahoma. First pitch. Low, nice block by the catcher Smithwick. He put his glove right next to his knee on the ground. Count 1-0, so Franco was falling behind a lot early in counts, and Beavis behind here. High kick in the pitch. Outside. One with the fastball. It's 2-0.
He's still striking really close to the zone, though. Not wildly inaccurate. And throwing pitches that these batters are having to think about. It's not an easy pass.
Lanky right-hander deals in for a strike on a fastball at the knees. 2-1. Bailey at second, Rembert at first. Walk at the plate. Beavis on the mound in relief for Noah Franco. Comes in with his team down 3-1 here in the top of the third. 2-1. In for a strike. 86-mile-an-hour changeup. There's a lot on it, but does a great job of taking off a lot of the spin compared to the fastball. So 2-2 the count. Beavis searching for his first strikeout of the summer. Here's the pitch. Almost got it. It was just barely fouled off by Walk. The foul tip, but Smithwick, the catcher, couldn't bring it in, so we continue on with the count 2-2. Beavis makes his way back out onto the hill. Walks on top of the rubber from the back of the mound. As the left-handed hitting Walk digs back in, he taps his bat against the plate, waves it forward, takes a few practice swings, and settles in with his hands beyond his left ear. Beavis on the mound, winds and deals. This is outside on a fastball, 3-2. Count now full. Beavis again getting deep into an at-bat against one of these Harbor Hawks hitters. He's done a great job at the plate today. Payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Off speed, well low of the zone. Walk chased it. That's the first strikeout for Logan Beavis, out number 2 at the top of the third. But runner still on first and second with the number 9 hitter, Jake Schaffner, now heading up to the dish with his team up by 2 and a chance to extend the lead early on.
In almost a positive way, he's not really minding or paying attention to these batters in the base path, only focusing on what's at home. And through his 3 batters, Rembert gets on with an error, and he puts one away by pop out and then a strikeout. He's been really solid so far.
First pitch to Schaffner. He shows bunt but pulls it back. The pitch missed low anyways, the count 1-0. Interesting idea to show bunt with 2 outs and runners on first and second.
Maybe just to play with the emotions a little bit, play with the mind. Lewis does not take the bait. He's not even moving from his post at third in at all.
Rest of the infield playing pretty straight up. Lewis now takes a few steps in. He's got his toes on the grass. The 1-0. Fastball in for a strike, right down the middle. Outfield playing straight up. Right-hander Beavis looks in. The tall, lanky right-hander comes set. Looks back to second. Deals. A slow chopper towards short. Wade takes it himself to second and beats out Rembert for out number 3. Logan Beavis comes in with a runner on in the top of the third. Gives up an error on the first man he sees, but then works his way out of it. 3 straight outs, a pop-out, strikeout, and ground out. That moves us into the bottom of the third inning. The score still, Harbor Hawks 3, Braves nothing. Braves 1. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cable League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Bottom of the third inning. Hyannis up 3-1 over Bourne. Brett Landman back out onto the rubber. The left-hander into his third inning. Bourne goes with 9-1-2 on the mound at the plate. Riker Waite to lead things off. The shortstop, who has looked exceptional in the field, has had an interesting start at the plate, but interesting in a good way. He's only 2 for 6, however, has reached base in a plethora of other ways. 2 hit by pitches, 2 walks. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a fastball outside, and the count 1-0. Schaffner, the third baseman, was playing way back on that first pitch. Now parallel to third base after the bump was shown. 1-0. Misses inside. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-0 to Waite. Landman takes a long look in. Now starts the wind. Here's the offering. Waite pops it up. Right side of the infield. The first baseman, Bailey, calls for it. The wind moves it over, and Bailey moves to his right to bring it in. Bit of an awkward play as that ball got caught in the wind, but a nice job by Miles Bailey to readjust. That brings Peyton Bonds back to the plate. Leadoff man hit a automatic double his first time up into left center field, his first at-bat of the season. Then some controversy came. Connor Tierney, the third base umpire, thought that it went over the fence and was a home run. It was not. But Bond still ended up scoring. First pitch in for a strike. Count 0-1. He came in on a Cade Lewis RBI single. Bonds stands in the back of the box. The 0-1. Fouled straight back to the netting, 0-2. Something that you really notice out here on the Cape is size is very apparent.
Yep.
Bond's at the plate, 6'5", and a very tall guy out on the mound as well as Lamon deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Oh, he just made Peyton Bonds look silly. A big looping breaking ball. Brett Lamon just pulls the string. That is his 5th strikeout as the 6'5" lefty continues to work. He's now retired 7 in a row.
It's just an exceptional pitch. Bonds really late to it. Was too late.
John LeGrand steps in, the left-handed hitter. First pitch, he shows bunt and missed on it. Tried to drag bunt down the third base line with Schaffner playing back again. It's a strike to count 0-1. LeGrand flew out to right his first time up. A 1, outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Cade Lewis on deck, the number 3 hitter. John LeGrand, the number 2 hitter, looking to extend this game, or extend this inning, I should say. Lamon into the wind. Here's the 1-1 offering. Outside and low. Went with a off speed. Looks like a slider. The count 2-1. Lamon looks back in. Wind of the pitch, fouled straight back. 2-2. Lamon can get out of this here. Searching for his second straight 1-2-3 inning.
He's getting even better as this game goes on, and that's just going to be tough after the 3-spot Hyannis put up in the first inning for Bourne to come back with.
Into the wind, the 2-2. Rocketed back up the middle. That gets down for a base hit. A one-hopper into the glove of the center fielder, Jason Walk. And it's a 2-out single for John LeGrand. That sends Cade Lewis to the plate. He had an RBI single his first time up. Lewis has been exceptional this season. His batting average up to .462 after that single in the first. He does represent the tying run. Bourne down 3-1 here in the bottom of the third. 2 gone. Lamon looks in. First pitch, fastball upstairs, 1-0. Lamon had a complete game this past year for Abilene Christian. The left-hander comes set at the belt. The pitch runner going. It's a fastball in for a strike. Throw into second is in time. Fastball right down the middle. That's just too easy for the catcher, Vaughn Lackey. He fires a bullet into second. That gets John LeGrand. He's caught stealing. And that does it for the bottom of the third inning. But before we go to break, we'll send things to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Well, Adam, in celebration of Juneteenth, I wanted to highlight the Braves center fielder John LeGrand's relative, Larry LeGrand. Larry played for the Memphis Red Sox of the Negro American League in 1957. Following high school, he played in the 1958 East-West All-Star Game, and in 1959, he signed with the New York Yankees, playing with their minor league teams for a year. After that, he was released and returned back to the Negro American Leagues. In 2002, he was inducted into the Salem Roanoke Baseball Hall of Fame. John said he knew him his whole life. He has always been inspired by him. He looks up to him, and he hopes to carry on his legacy and play in Major League Baseball.
Well, thank you so much, Ariel. A really great story about John LeGrand and his really exceptional relative, Larry. That does it for the first 3 innings. We'll keep things here, but I will hand the play-by-play duties over to Devon Jarvis.
Thank you very much. Well, it's been a shaky game for Bourne to start. Allowed 3 innings in the first, the next 2 after that. They were able to shut Hyannis out, but it wasn't easy. We continue with Logan Vivas on the mound after he relieves duties from Noah Franco. The 2A out of TCU had not the best first inning, but followed it up with 2 scoreless, and Vivas trying to continue that trend. Vivas came in after 1 batter in the third, is here for his second inning. Hyannis, a really talented team offensively. They've put up 20 runs through 4 games. They're 2-1-1 in that span, and that's good for best in the league runs-wise, second in the league record-wise. So first up to bat is the leadoff man, Matt Mura, the left fielder out of Hawaii. Just finished his junior season there, coming off a game against Chatham on Tuesday. Went 2 for 5 in that game with an RBI. Beavis sees him for the first time, his 5th batter of the day. Has retired 3 of 4, the only one getting on with an error. First pitch to the top of the 4th, Bourne down 3-1. An off speed, well painted on the inside part of the zone. Infield playing straight up, the outfield the same, no shift on the right-handed batter in Mura. Mura in his first 2 times up, a base hit in the first, a walk in the second. The 0-1. Slider just misses low and inside. Mura standing at 5'11", stands in the center of the right-handed batter's box with an open stance. He rocks back and forth, the 1-1. This one rocketed out to center field, charging in is Legrand. He makes the head-high grab on a sprint in. 1 up, 1 down, Bourne with 1 out.
Mura got a really nice piece of that right on the barrel, but unfortunately he hit it a little bit too hard to center field to the point where Legrand, with his speed, was just able to meet the ball. It just flew through the air.
Legrand also plays a little in from a typical post in center field. He's very fast, hasn't let anything behind him yet this season. Next batter, Jackson Willits, the 0-0. Outside pitch, he watches it by. Beavis out of Texas Tech. Spent a year at South Florida before that. Came off a year with a 7.4 ERA as he gets set for the 1-0 from the stretch. Just inside. Willits now his 3rd time up to bat in only 4 innings. An RBI grounder in the 1st inning and got on with a base hit to right field in the 2nd. He's already scored once. 1 out on the board, Bourne down 3-1 here in the top of the 4th. From the stretch, it's Beavis. He fires on the 2-0. Just low, catches a bit of dirt before reaching the glove of the Ole Miss catcher, now in the transfer portal, Campbell Smithwick.
You know, Devin, all things considered, if you're Bourne, I think you're pretty happy for this to be a 3-1 game. Harbor Hawks have stranded 6 runners on through 3 innings. That's why Jackson Willits is already up for the 3rd time today.
The 3-0. Well put down Broadway. A fastball makes it 3-1. 3 of those 6 runners all in scoring position. Only 3 runs to show who the Harbor Hawks have. So the number 12 in orange steps back in the lefty's batter's box, stands well back and inside. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball just gets by, and Willits will take his base. Next, Andrew Williamson. A lot at the top of the order for Hyannis so far. A really solid start. 4 of the 5 getting on. Williamson got on with a grounder to right field in the 1st. Struck out in the 2nd. Here he is in the 4th inning. 3rd player up to bat. 1 out on the board in the top of the 4th. Beavis stares down at home plate and fires. Called strike 1 as Williamson shows bunt and takes it back. Runner on first in Willits takes a 4-step lead and settles in. Guarding the bag is Weber Niels at first base. The first time he's had that position defensively so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Beavis. He kicks and deals. Runner goes. Ball gets past Smithwick. A called ball. Sliding into second is Willits safely.
That was a bit awkward from Smithwick behind the plate. It looked like he was really trying to bring his glove to the ball instead of just sit in that spot where he'd usually be catching it. When he did that, he almost kind of nicks the ball to the ground. He was trying to get into that pop stance before he even had the ball in his glove.
Yeah, a little too early starting this throw to second motion. The 1-1 pitch skips in the dirt. Good job by Smithwick to keep it in front. He shuffles 2 steps forward to hold the runner at second at bay.
That's a good bounce back. Really nice block there from Smithwick to send that ball off his chest protector and straight back into the dirt.
Standing back in is Williamson, the 2nd straight lefty that Beavis has saw. It's a righty-lefty battle as Beavis works from the stretch. 2 looks at second base. Brings glove to chest and fires on the 2-1. Grounder cracked to second base. Molinaro fields forehand. Sidearm toss to first. He gets the out. Willits will advance to third base. 2 outs on the board.
If you're Hyannis, you have to bring Willits home from third because this has now become a bad historic thing in this game of where they just are stranding so many runners in scoring position. And if you're Bourne, you have to keep limiting because you can't keep letting so many runners on, but you have to find a way to get out of jams.
Beavis dealing with a runner on third. The first pitch to the new batter in Velasquez is a called strike 1 on the inside edge. As things stand right now, it could be 3 consecutive scoreless innings for Hyannis, but none of them without a fight. Open stance for Velasquez in the righty's batter's box. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball over the top. Only oxygen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Bourne still down by 2 runs. They're dealing with a runner on third in Willits right now, trying to hold him at bay and keep this a scoreless inning for Hyannis. The 0-2 pitch for Beavis. Kick and deal. Fastball cracked right field side. Chasing after it is Holcomb. That one will drop in fair territory. He can't make the grab as it falls over the wall in foul territory in right field. And a ground rule double for Ray Velasquez as the runner scores from third. Hyannis back on top, 4-1.
That's just unfortunate. If you're Braden Holcomb, you got to bring that in. It just bounces off his glove and out. Now, I think the question is here, as the umpires are going to meet, is does the runner go to third base as you get 2 bases after it knocked out a play? It's not just an automatic double. Actually, no, they'll say it is still an automatic double. By the way, Devon, a little baseball education here. Technically, that is not a ground rule double. It is an automatic double. Any field has fences, so if it bounces over any field, it's a ground rule double. It's not a ground rule double, it's an automatic double. A ground rule double is like if there's a field that has a fence somewhere and it gets lodged in a fence. It's just those ground rules that make it a ground rule double.
Good to know. First pitch to the new batter. Bailey watches it by, called ball number 1. Velasquez on second, now 180 feet away from making another trip home. He did so, or just got shy of doing so in the first inning. Beavis looks at second, now comes home. The kick and the deal on the 1-0. Cut on and missed. Bailey couldn't catch up to the fastball. It's a 1-1 count. Hyannis leading 4-1. 6 hits to their 4 runs. Bourne only 3 to their 1 run. Beavis on the first base side of the rubber, kicks and deals. Cut on and missed once again by Bailey. It's a 1-2 count. Holcomb in right field while fielding that ball almost let it drop. You wonder maybe he thought it was going to be foul as the grass changed to clay, signifying the warning track. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside edge. Bailey watched it by, and Bourne allow 1 run in the top of the 4th inning for Hyannis to take a 4-1 lead. We'll send things to a short break here on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Networks. Thanks for staying with us. We'll be back in just a moment from Doran Park.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Back for the bottom of the fourth inning from Dorn Park. It's Devon Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, the third member of our team, and Ariel Tamir-Pinsky joins us later in the game. New pitcher on the mound for Hyannis. It's Richie Roman, the 6'4", 190 rising junior out of Houston. Adam, what is there to know about him? Such a special player coming in with big shoes to fill after Landman.
Well, he's a guy who's already made his Cape League debut, pitched 2 innings against Harwich back on opening day. Gave up 1 run there, but was pretty solid. Gave up just 1 hit. As you said, he comes from the University of Houston and was one of the Cougars' top arms this past season. Had 19 appearances, started 6 games, and had 7 saves. So really a guy who did it all, not necessarily a guy who you really have to worry about his control too much. Just 21 walks in 41 innings and 55 strikeouts. So we'll see what he does here today against this Bourne order, which has been swinging the bat pretty well so far this season.
Richie Roman filling the duties of Brett Landman. He finishes his day with 3 innings pitched, only 3 hits allowed, 1 run earned, 5 Ks to go with it. Really started heating up as the game went on. So Richie Roman, first batter he will see is Cade Lewis. He was at the plate at the end of the 3rd inning while John LeGrand got thrown out stealing at second base. Bourne down by 3, bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch here from Roman from the wind. Fastball cracked back into the backstop. Lewis, one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent offensive player on this Bourne roster, has been really solid. Went 1 for 2 on Tuesday with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout against the Brewster Whitecaps. Bourne fell 4-3 in that game and now have a record of 1-2-1. Roman covers his face, kicks and deals on the 0-1. Another foul ball into the backstop. Lewis a bit late to this one, stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Bourne with no one on here in the bottom of the 4th. Are looking for a comeback, have been really solid at responding to when the opponent puts up runs of their own. The 0-2 pitch here from Roman, ahead in the count against Lewis. Fastball back into the netting. Adam, no netting there. I'm sure you were ready for it.
That was right at me. I had that one, had my hand up, was ready to bring it in.
I'm hoping one time we get a chance at a foul ball this season because I want to see those glove skills put to work.
Not here because that would mean that it rips the net and it would be
well,
painful.
It could go way high and over. Nevertheless, it's an 0-2 count. Here's Roman, the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Lewis chased the low and away fastball. 1 out for the Harbor Hawks.
It's a nice way to start the outing from Roman. He's a really, really electric arm. Not a guy who's easy to catch up with. These Bourne bats have now struck out 6 times through just 3 1/3. Definitely not what Scott Landers is hoping for at the plate.
Bourne with the 3rd most team strikeouts of any squad so far this young Cape season. Braden Holcomb, the new batter in, the sophomore out of Vanderbilt. First pitch. Roman gonna get this one fouled off into the first base netting. Holcomb, a really solid player, a Cape League All-Star for Bourne last season, was integral to their West Division Championship campaign. Trying to find that same magic he did just a year ago, not batting as well as he has this year as he did last year. Only 176 so far. Close stance from the right side as Roman winds and deals. A 1 pitch, a painted strike on the inside edge of the zone. 4-1 the score as Hyannis leads. Infield in their standard depth, a little bit back if anything, as the sun just dips behind the horizon, behind home plate. The 0-2 pitch from Roman. Fastball just nicks off both the umpire in Will Bowers as well as the catcher in Von Lackey. A ball inside. In his first time up, Holcomb went down swinging. He was the first strikeout of the day for Bourne. It took Brett Landman 4 batters until he got the first K. Only Roman 1. The 1-2 pitch with 1 out. Fastball, a half swing from Holcomb, but he gets called on the strike 3. 2 up, 2 down by way of K, and Richie Roman looking exceptional for the Harbor Hawks through 2 batters.
That's just a flat-out filthy slider at the knees. Just froze Holcomb. That broke almost 12 inches horizontally. Perfectly painted that bottom part of the zone. Just beautiful stuff from Roman.
Logan Hughes looking to get back to his former self. First pitch from Roman. Just a bit low as Hughes watches it by. 2 outs on the board as Bourne, still down by 3, are looking to get a little bit of a spark. Lights on here at Dorn Park as wind blows from right to left. The 1-0 pitch as Roman deals. Fastball just a bit low and outside. The return to the rubber for maybe the first time this inning. Behind an account by a margin of 2 balls. 2 outs on the board, no one on for Bourne. Hughes steps in, the 2-0 pitch on its way. Cut on and missed. Hughes was under the fastball. 2-1 the count. Weber Niels on deck in the hole, Campbell Smithwick. 2 other Bourne players who've also went down by strikeout in their only at-bat so far. The 2-1 pitch. Cracked left side of the infield. It gets between third and second. A base hit for Logan Hughes. His first hit since opening day against Harwich.
That's a big one. Get back into the swing of things after a day off, especially. You know, that extra day, which can be helpful for some, can be hard for others because it just makes you think, man, I haven't hit in a while. But Hughes, with a nice swing there, sent it 99 miles an hour off the bat through the left side.
A good start for him. Weber Niels, first pitch, he takes on the inside edge of the strike zone. Hughes a little dance at first base. He goes back in swiftly.
Really nice front door breaking ball from Roman. You love to see when a pitcher isn't afraid to throw anything.
Niels an open stance in the back of the batter's box. The 0-1 pitch on its way. This one cracked third base side. It tails foul and hits the fence before falling back in play. I think left fielder Matt Muir is going to have to take care of that one. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Logan Hughes the only runner on the base path right now. He's at first. Niels, after taking a day off against Brewster, back in the starting lineup for Bourne. He stands tall in the back of the righty's batter's box. The 0-2 pitch from Richie Roman. He deals from the stretch. This one straight back up the center of the infield. A great pick by Rembert, the throw to first. In time, a spectacular defensive play by Remberts. And Bourne can't get away with one there. They're scoreless in the bottom of the 4th and keep things a 4-1 ball game. Before we head to break, a quick read of our advertisers.
Are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape's own Keith Bildo? Join us at the Capeplex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the Capeplex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at thek-plex.com. Elevate your game at the Capeplex. Also, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community. Conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
We'll take a short break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and be back in just a minute for the top of the 5th inning. Thanks for staying with us.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Bourne with a close try in the bottom of the 4th. Return defensively in the top of the 5th. It's Devon Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, and Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, the 3rd member of our team, who joins us in just a few from Dorn Park as Hyannis and Bourne still squaring off. Hyannis up 4-1 with Beavis on the mound for Bourne. The Harbor Hawks are going to try and add to their total, and the first batter is Chris Rempert. Just made a fantastic play, a web gem at second base. He digs into the righty's batter's box in the top of the 5th. First pitch. Beavis, a fastball just low of the zone. Beavis has worked well in his first 2 innings. Had 2 runners on in the 3rd inning, got himself out of the jam. And back in the 4th, only 1 run allowed this so far. The 1-0 pitch, a half swing from Rempert. It gets by in a called ball. Rempert, so far this game, has gotten on twice, once with an error, the other one a 2 RBI automatic double back in the 1st. Digs in with an open stance from the right-handed batter's box. Beavis, as the wind picks up, deals on the 2-0. Just low and inside, 3 close pitches, none called in Bourne's favor. And it's a hitter's count for Chris Rempert out of Auburn. It's a 4-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks. The 3-0 pitch, just low. Even with the take sign, Bourne puts a runner on first base. Rempert gets to first with a walk, and now leaves Von Lackey, the catcher, to do something with runners in the base path.
We mentioned this earlier today, Devon, but yet again another leadoff runner let on. That's the 3rd time today that's happened. 2nd time on a free pass as well. That's not how you want to start off your innings.
Von Lackey, 1 for 4 against Brewster in his last time up. That was on Monday as the first pitch gets away from Beavis. Skips in the left-handed batter's box, and it's a 1-0 count. Lackey out of Georgia Tech, just finished his sophomore year. Here's Beavis from the stretch. Runners going. The fastball called for a strike 1. The tag at second base, just a little bit late. Couldn't quite place it in time. A good throw from Smithwick, but a better jump from Rempert at first base, stealing second.
You got to think that there's some sort of scout on Smithwick here for the Harbor Hawks, because that's already the 3rd stolen base of the game, and we're just in the top of the 5th. They really like this matchup and like the ability to steal against Smithwick.
Beavis, the 1-1 pitch, waved on and missed by Lackey. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner in scoring position 180 feet from scoring. Lackey looking to drive him in. He waves his lumber in the right-handed batter's box. The 1-2 pitch. Caught on and missed for strike 3. It was a drop 3rd strike. Lackey not even making the trot toward first base. The throw made by Smithwick to Weber Niels in time. And the first retired of the inning for the Bourne Braves.
It's a bit of a scary throw to first from Smithwick. It almost got away from him.
Lackey didn't even try. He was almost already in the dugout by the time the throw came. Scott Landers is going to make a trip to the mound, a look to the bullpen, as it will likely be Landon White coming back to the Bourne Braves for his 2nd outing of the year. We'll take a short break here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and be back in just a moment.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. protecting the possible.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
We welcome you back to Dorn Park on Cape League TV. Devon Jarvis and Adam Gotkin for your coverage. We're in the middle of the bottom of the fifth inning, or top of the fifth inning right now. And Bourne elect to bring in a new pitcher. Logan Beavis heads back to the dugout. Lou Marinero back onto the bump for the second time this season for the Braves. Adam, a solid pitcher for the Braves. We saw him one time, commented about his Italian heritage. What does he have to do as a baseball player?
Well, he looks pretty good back on opening day. Went 2 innings, gave up just 1 run. He struck out 3. He's got really good stuff from the left side, moves it very well. Really controlled it well, too, in his first outing. No walks.
He'll have to deal with a runner on second base. Marinero with Rempert right behind him. First pitch, the batter will be walk. Foul ball into the first base netting. Walk in his first 2 times up, grounded out to second base and went down with a strikeout. Walk, the third batter that Beavis saw. Beavis will end his day with still a runner he has to account for, but 2 1/3 innings pitched, 2 walks and 3 Ks. The 0-1 pitch from Marinero. High and outside. Walk doesn't even think about it. A little bit of movement from Rembert on second base. He stole second. A great jump on Smithwick. We'll see if he thinks about third. Sun is pretty much settled now here from Bourne, Massachusetts, in Dorn Park as the 1-1. Fastball just upstairs. Crowd doesn't like the call, but it's a 2-1 count. Bourne looking for anything they can get at this point. It's a 4-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 5th inning. As Marinero crosses his feet, comes set at his chin, and delivers on the 2-1. Way inside, Walk watches it by once again. He's hunting for an outcome of his last name.
Marinero's got a really tough release point to go against. Releases it about 5 feet up in the air, so that's almost sidearm. And he kind of hides it to the last second.
The 3-1 pitch. Gets away from Marinero, high and outside, a ball 4 for Jason Walk as he makes his 90-feet trot to first base. Runners on 1 and 2 for the Harbor Hawks. And it will be the second leadoff hitter in Jake Schaffner, with maybe the opportunity to do something with it. 0 for 2 so far today. Let's see how he does.
That's already the 5th walk of this game. You've mentioned it nonstop. 3 passes are what lose you games in this league, and 5 and not even 5 full innings is not what you want to see.
Marinero from the third base side of the rubber gets set for the first pitch of the at-bat. He fires upstairs and in against Schaffner. Schaffner in his last game on Tuesday against Chatham went hitless, 0 for 4. Now 0 for 6, combining that game and this one. Marinero comes set at his chin, looks at second, a dance there, pitch comes home. A well-painted pitch, bottom left corner of the strike zone. Squares up the count at 1-1.
Schaffner's hit into 2 double play balls today. One a ground out to first, the other a ground out to short. Another would end this inning.
The 1-1 pitch for Marinero. Look at second, he comes home. Fastball, well located downstairs in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bourne still down by 3. With a runner on scoring position for the Harbor Hawks, they're trying to add to their total right now. Top of the 5th inning with 1 out on the board and runners on 1 and 2. It's Rembert on second and Walk on first, as Smithwick's going to call time in conference with his pitcher in Marinero on the rubber. It seems as though there's maybe sign stealing, but the focus likely is on Rembert at second base.
He's a really fast guy, so any base hit will bring him home, and you want to make sure that with him now on second for a while, he has no idea what the signs are. Just mix things up.
So digging back in is the lefty in Schaffner. He crowds the plate and gets set for the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and missed, fouled back. Rather, catches a bit of dirt, and Smithwick couldn't hold on. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out for Marinero here in the top of the 5th inning. 6 hits for the 4 runs that the Harbor Hawks have. Braves have 1 run on 4 hits. Marinero from the third base side of the rubber kicks and deals the 1-2. Cracked first base, third base side. It's over the netting and on to the concourse of Upper Cape Tech, the high school that is company to Dorn Park here in Bourne, Massachusetts. So Schaffner staying alive, has a 1-2 count with 1 out. Marinero, the kick in the deal. Skips 10 feet in front of the plate. Good protection by Smithwick. He pops up right away. No swing by Schaffner. It's a count squared at deuces now. Harbor Hawks had 1 run in the top of the 4th. None yet here in the top of the 5th. The 2-2 pitch from Marinero. Fastball, this one lifted out into shallow right field. Chasing after it is Holcomb. Instead, he gives way to LeGrand, who heads in left from his original post and makes the grab. Holcomb was making a sprinter's charge at the ball before LeGrand called for it. That wind moving from right field to left field likely influenced that defender's decision. So 2 outs on the board now for Bourne, working their way out of this jam. Runners still on a 1 and 2. Rembert doing a little dancing at second base. Every single time Marinero looks back behind him, he shuffles right and left. Tries to get into the head of Marinero. New batter back to the top of the order. It's Matt Mura, who's had a solid day so far. 2 for 3. Rather 1 for 2 in the young day. Got on with a walk as well. First pitch with 2 outs and runners on 1 and 2 in the top of the 5th. Here's Marinero. He looks at second and comes home. Fastball inside edge of the zone, called for strike 1.
You think about the fact that Mura's up for the 4th time today and we're in the 5th inning. It's really exceptional that Bourne has given up just 4 runs. Although a big part of that has been that Hyannis has stranded runner in scoring position each of the first 4 innings, and another one in here.
The 0-1. Right down Broadway, a slider that is called for strike number 2. 1 pitch away from retiring the side as Marinero. He's got 2 outs, but still has to deal with a runner in scoring position and another one on first base. Harbor Hawks up 4-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Marinero. Fastball swung on and fouled back into the netting behind home plate. Good battle here from Mura. Went 2 for 5 against Chatham on Tuesday. 1 run and 1 RBI. Just finished his junior year at Hawaii and has been a really solid leadoff man for this Harbor Hawk team. The 0-2 pitch will do it again. Fastball right field side. It will tail foul, drop once before hitting the fencing out of play. 2 consecutive foul balls for Mura. And he digs back into the righty's batter's box, readjusts his blue and orange gloves. Not Hawaii gloves, but now Harbor Hawk gloves for this summer. Typically, these players still wear their gear from their collegiate season.
I kind of wish that they did a all-star game type thing where each player wears their own helmets. I feel like that would look pretty cool.
That would be cool. Bryce Molinaro still wears his Penn State helmet for Bourne. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball way upstairs. Brim level of the 5'11 batter in Mira.
Jason Walk at first has a really weird stance. He's almost in a track stance. Not at all facing towards the plate. He's got his entire body facing second base.
As if he's Noah Lyles, ready for the 100-meter dash. Pitch comes in the dirt, the 1-2. Now makes it a 2-2.
I'd be interested in maybe trying to sneak a back pick. Now there's 2 outs, so this probably isn't the time, but at least just something to keep in mind because it's a weird stance from Walk at first base.
Probably about 6 paces. He's in line with the cutout of the grass by first base. The 2-2 pitch from Marinero. It's set at his chin, kicks and deals. Fastball upstairs. That one's going to make it a full count. Quite a long at-bat between Mura and Marinero. Nine pitches so far. As clap ensues from the spectators. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball right back up the middle. A bad hop gets past Molinero's glove. Coming home is Rempert. He'll step on home safely at second base. Looking for 2 was Mira. He gets tagged out with a heads-up play by Riker Waite. The run will likely score. Yes, it will. Makes it a 5-1 ball game. And Bourne get a lucky out to end the inning, not before allowing one Harbor Hawk run. We'll send things to the bottom of the 5th inning after this short break. Thanks for staying with us on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network. We welcome you back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network on Cape League TV. Devon Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, and our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, will join us at the end of this inning. It's Richie Roman who continues his day on the mound for Hyannis. Comes set at the rubber. His first batter he faces is Campbell Smithwick. From the wine, first pitch he deals. Just outside, called for ball 1. Smithwick in his first time up. Went down swinging. That was against the opening pitcher and Brett Landman. Landman went for 3 full innings before handing the duties over to Roman. The pitch, cracked back up the middle, 3 bounces, backhanded by Rempert. The throw over to first, 2 bounces, and he beats it out. Smithwick with a good hustle. Not a strong throw from Rempert, even a fantastic field. He couldn't get the ball over to first in time.
That's the hustle you want to see from Campbell Smithwick. Going all out down the first base line. Especially with how this game has gone so far. With some tough bounces against the Braves, you need to beat that out and get a hit on what almost would have been an incredible play again from Rembert.
Rembert trying to get some more WEM gems for his resume. First pitch against Molinaro is swung on and missed. Molinaro, a solid player out of Penn State, first team All Big Ten. The second baseman for the Nittany Lions. He digs into the center of the right-handed batter's box with a runner on first base. Pitch, another swing and a miss for Molinaro. Late to that one on the fastball. Braves down 5-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning. Only 5 hits so far. Looking for 4 more runs to make this an even game. Smithwick a 3-step lead on first base. The 0-2 pitch, cracked out to center field. It's an easy can of corn for Walk as he makes 5 steps in. And the basket catch. Now it's the second leadoff hitter for the Bourne Braves, Riker Waite. Probably hasn't been a more exciting player defensively to this point in the season than the freshman out of Vanderbilt. Adding the bat skills too, batting over 300 so far this year. He's a very special talent. First pitch. Upstairs, but catches a bit of the strike zone. Called for strike number 1. Smithwick still on first. The catcher in the transfer portal who played right field on Tuesday. Back home for the 0-1. Catches a bit of dirt before reaching the glove of Lackey. And returned back to the rubber to Richie Roman. Roman, like we mentioned, he's been out on the mound already for Hyannis. Allowed only 1 run in his 2 innings. Hard hit ball to Rembert. A sidearm toss to second base. Gets the out and a double play. Miles Bailey makes the catch at first base for the 4-6-3. And Bourne just not having their day offensively. Only 1 run so far. They're down by 4. The third member of our team, and Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, stands by for a moment just to hit. She'll join us later in the game instead as we send it to another break here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network. Stay with us. We're back for the top of the 6th after about a minute.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Back at Dorn Park for the top of the 6th inning between the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. A great game so far for Hyannis. They're up 5-1 as the visitors against the hosts in Bourne. Same pitcher on the day. It's Lou Marinero, who's the 3rd reliever so far for Bourne. In his first inning went just 5 batters. Ended his day after Matt Mura. Jackson Willits is the first batter he faces here in the top of the 6th. First pitch, low and outside. It's a 1-0 count.
Bourne is really lucky, to be honest, that this is just a 4-run game. Hyannis has stranded 7 runners in scoring position.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside edge of the zone. A half swing from Willits, but he watches it by.
When you compare that to the other side of this game, Bourne has just stranded 1 runner on base, and that was at first. So this has been 2 completely different games, bottom and the top of the innings.
The 1-1. way upstairs. Marinero let it go a little early. Smithwick stands up to field it. Not the typical Bourne offensive day that we've seen. I guess you could say it's typical from Hyannis, already averaging 5 runs per game through their first 4. The 4-1 pitch. Upstairs again. It's a 3-1 count.
I think it's a little bit surprising, too. Bourne's biggest characteristic over this dynastic stretch the last few years has been the pitching.
The 3-1. Fastball high and inside. Gets a piece of the zone. Makes the count full with no one on, no one out in the top of the 6th inning.
More specifically than the pitching, it's been the incredible control that Bourne's arms have shown over the last few years.
The 3-2. Fastball foul, right side. It lands on top of the Hyannis dugout after catching a little bit of the screen before doing so.
And we just see the difference in the importance of control in this game. Not a single Bourne batter has walked or been hit by a pitch. On the other side, Hyannis has had 5 guys walk and 1 hit by a pitch. That's 6 free passes. That's, almost all 7 guys stranded in scoring position.
The payoff pitch. Way upstairs. Marinero's going to put the leadoff batter on with a base on balls. This Harbor Hawk team, they've been really solid, 3rd in batting average, but only 28 hits on 20 runs this season, excluding today's day.
It's because they make the most of those free passes, and there's another one there. That's the 7th of the game, the 6th walk.
Bourne likely to drop in the rankings, already 3rd most walks given up. Or rather, tied 5th. They're likely to drop from there. 6 walks already today to add to their 17 they've had so far. Runner on first is Willits. It's a new batter in Andrew Williamson, who digs in from the left side. He crowds the plate, waggles his lumber, and gets set for the 1-0 for Marinero. He looks over to first instead. This is a sidearm toss. Weber Neal's not going to apply the tag and returns it back to the rubber. Marinero hangs his left arm, looks in for his sign. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Marinero kicks and deals. A called strike, top of edge of the zone. Williamson has this quirky habit. Right before the ball comes in, he moves his bat back, almost like he's cocking for the ball, like a golf swing. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball fouled down on home plate by Williamson. Makes it a 1-2 count.
It's something you see a lot of coaches try to eliminate, any excess movement in the swing, but some guys, it's just where they feel most comfortable.
Tips his bat back toward the backstop. Already has excessive movement as he waits for the pitch. Here's the 1-2 coming from Marinero. Look at second, he comes home. Outside, the fastball misses. Marinero set at his chin. Looks at second, he comes home. The 2-2 pitch, right side, over the glove of Weber Neals. On his way to third is Willett. Storms past second, gonna get the stop sign at third base. And a stand-up double for Williamson as the ball is fielded and right by Holcomb. The throw in doesn't stop any damage. Runner's still on the base path, but 2 in scoring position now for the Harbor Hawks. And up to bat is Ray Velasquez, maybe the most dangerous hitter in this Harbor Hawk lineup.
One of many guys who's just seeing the ball well today. Everyone in this Hyannis order, outside of the number 7 hitter Von Lackey and the number 9 hitter Jake Schaffner, has now reached base.
Velasquez, a really solid hitter. So far this season, hitting .412, slugging .530. An open stance, he sees pitch 1, bounces in the dirt, gets away from Smithwick to his right. He's able to keep it in control and hold the runner at third. Pitch is a new ball for Marinero to work with. All of the infield playing all the way in. Riker Waite with his heels in the infield grass. The rest their tiptoes. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Marinero. Kicks and deals. Fastball, fouls it. First base side over the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. The 5-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks. They're pretty close to adding more onto that. Runner at second is Williamson, got his double and advanced Willits to third. There's the 1-1 pitch from Marinero to Velasquez. Way upstairs. Continued control struggles for Marinero. He spent his junior season at St. John's. Was all Big East second team as a sophomore. His last season had a 5.97 ERA. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball inside, kept in front by Smithwick as it's low. A 3-ball, 1 strike count for Velasquez. Walked in the first inning, stranded at third base, and back in the second he struck out, but did get his first hit of the day in the fourth. A double to right field. The 3-1 pitch for Marinero needs a strike. Here it comes. Now back into the screen, Velasquez with a healthy cut below the ball. Now it's a full count. Top of the 6th inning, and runners on 2 and 3 for the Harbor Hawks. Here's Velasquez. Digs in with an open stance from the righty's batter's box. The 3-2. He swings late on it and puts it over the first base netting once again above the dugout of his own squad. Velasquez with 3 RBIs already this season. Waves his bat 3 times. Squats in his stance. Marinero dealing with runners on 2 and 3. Here's for the payoff. Fouled once again. This one a little bit closer to being in play, but still far out. 3-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Velasquez only 4 strikeouts this season. A 1050 OPS. Here's the 3-2. In the dirt, Velasquez is going to take his base at first. Not the worst walk you can have, but not a positive one for sure.
Well, I don't know if there is such thing as a positive walk, Devon.
That's a fair point.
Maybe an intentional one in some way. But yeah, the control has just not been there today. This is the first time this season that we've seen the Bourne pitching staff as a whole just not have it. So far, it's all been big innings that have led to Bourne's losses. This one, it's just no one can seem to find the zone.
First pitch from Marinero. It's a called strike against Miles Bailey.
And, you know, Bourne was lucky through those first 4 games to not have to at all stray away from its pitching schedule.
Marinero kicks and deals in the 0-1. This one high out to left field. This one back by the warning track, by the wall. And Hughes can't make the grab. It gets by him. 1 runner going to come home. The second runner in Williamson making the trot. And an E7 in left field as Hughes was settling under it. His back against the yellow topping in the outfield fence, but he can't make the grab. Allows 2 to score. Likely 1 would have scored on a sacrifice tag, but it's now a 7-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks.
I mean, that one just can't happen. That is a play that from the time you're in, I would say, a Little League, 11U, you have to make. You're settled under the ball. It's right at you.
The 0-1 pitch skied out into center field. A hard charge from LeGrand. He makes the grab head high after a sprint in by about 30 feet. Quick at bat and a much needed out for the Bourne Braves. Finally, they get their first here in this long 6th inning. Marinero quickly retires Rembert, and now it's Von Lackey.
I mean, this has just been ugly. Nothing can go right for the Bravos today. This is just baseball some days. You have really tough days, and this seems to be one for Bourne.
Lackey from the right side gets set. Watches the first one by about his nose high. And Marinero on the mound still trying to find that control. A little bit of motion going on in the bullpen for the Bourne Braves, but no one super solidified yet. The 1-0 pitch, left side of the infield. Diving as Lewis makes the grab. The throw to first in time. Throw to second rather in time. Throw to first. Weber Niels came off the bag. Marinero just pulls the throw over, and 2 outs now for the Harbor Hawks. Hit from Lackey that advances the leadoff runner in Velasquez to third.
That was a really impressive play at third by Cade Lewis to dive and bring it in. Keeps at least that 1 run off the board.
Now it's the 8th batter of the order. It's Jason Walk. Walk faces Marinero now for the 2nd time. First pitch, a deep cut in the bottom of the zone by Walk. Can't catch up to it. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. It's Will Whelan warming up in the bullpen for the Braves as Marinero tries to work out of this jam. Runners on 1 and 3 for Walk at home plate. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball, good location, but not a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs as Bourne is in their tied largest deficit of the year. 7-1's the score. They were down 6-0 against the Harwich Mariners on opening day. The 1-1. Fastball in the dirt. It's past Smithwick. This one going to score Velasquez. Smithwick couldn't get to the backstop fast enough, and Velasquez with an easy trot home now makes it an 8-1 score and the largest deficit that Bourne has had all year.
Now we got to bring it up. The conversation of the run rule, 10 after 7. Right now a 7-run game in the top of the 6th that is in play, Devon.
Not the outing you want to have for Bourne. They've already had 2 games cut early in their last 2 due to darkness. I doubt they want one by mercy. Wave and a miss by Walk. A fastball at the top of the zone gets by him, and it's a 2-2 count. 2 outs on the board. 3 runs already for Hyannis in this inning. 8-1 they lead. Marinero appears at second, comes home for the pitch. This one fouls back above the backstop screen, and he stays alive. Lot of high pitch at bats for Marinero right now. He's working deep into these. 8 hits for the Harbor Hawks today. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Walk represents the 3rd out of the inning, and Bourne finally worked their way out of a long top of the 6th, one they'd like to forget. They'll try and work their way back in the bottom of the 6th as they bring their bats out. We'll show you that after this short break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network. We'll see you in a minute.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Welcome back to Doran Park. It's Devon, Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, and the third member of our team, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky. She'll join us at the end of this half inning, but boy, was it a long top of the sixth. The 3 spot for the Hyannis Harborhawks to push their lead from 5 to 8 over the Bourne Braves 1. Their defense now out, and the bats trying to do some work for Bourne in front of this home crowd. It's their second home game of the season. They won that first one 4-2 against Chatham. This one, not as pretty, Adam.
No, not at all, and it's not pretty in basically every single way possible. The offense, pitching, the defense, a lot of free passes, a lot of errors, and a lot of strikeouts at the plate. So really just an ugly, ugly first 5.5 innings, but it's not over just yet.
The Houston sophomore still on the mound, Richie Roman. He faces Peyton Bonds. First pitch. This one skied out left center field. Walk has a read on it. He moves 5 paces to his right, but it drops rather. The light blocks it. Mira can't make the grab. It drops in front of him. He fields it and throws to second, not before Bonds can slide safely for a double. And just the ball gets lost in the sky, Adam. It was Walk in center field who couldn't see it at all. Mira, who made a deep charge on it, couldn't get to it fast enough.
Yeah, Walk went way too far back. That ball dropped maybe 40 feet in front of him. He just had absolutely no read on it. You know, the clouds are pretty low, but it's not fog. He just straight up lost it. And the lights aren't that high here. It's just weird.
So the second double of the day for Bonds is LeGrand steps into lefty's batter's box. He fouls off the first pitch for strike 1.
Even if there's no error there, no mistake, it's very promising that Peyton Bonds has now crushed 2 balls in his debut.
That one he likely got away with. Not called an error, still a base hit, as they're going to call a balk against Richie Roman. So Peyton Bonds now on third base. He reached third base as a pinch hitter against Brewster when he filled in for Campbell Smithwick on Tuesday. Didn't score there, was stranded. Now, with no outs, a much more likely opportunity to make the step on home plate. I guess you could say he already stepped on home plate earlier today thinking he had a home run before it was called back to an automatic double. LeGrand in the lefty's batter's box holds his bat high above his left shoulder. He waggles it, and Roman deals. This one out into right field. A well-hit ball. A good read by Williamson. Makes the grab. Bonds tagging from third base. He does it with no contention. A sacrifice fly into right field for LeGrand. Makes it an 8-2 ball game. Bourne still down by 6.
You like to see it. You like to see this team still battle, still fight when you're down big. Nice job to manufacture a run there with the double and then a balk, and a good job by LeGrand to just bring home the run. That's making the most of an opportunity after a couple defensive miscues.
Next batter is Cade Lewis from the left side. He fouls off first pitch and catches a bit of lackey doing so. Seems like it may have clipped his leg. You got to remember, too, in a lead like this, you can't think you can get it all back in one inning or one swing. So even just one less run off that deficit for Bourne by LeGrand's sacrifice fly is a big deal. Bourne get their first run since the bottom of the first. They had 4 consecutive empty before that. Lewis from the left side after fouling off the first gets set. Next pitch, low and out. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with no one on. Holcomb taking some hefty cuts in the on-deck circle. It's Hughes in the hole. Lewis with an RBI in the first inning, struck out in the 4th. Here's the pitch from Roman. Skied out left field. This one between left and center. Mira on it. It's right by the wall. He makes the grab as he tumbles into the wall. His momentum carries him there. A well-struck ball that was carried by the wind from Cade Lewis. He gets nothing for it.
And a bit of an awkward play there from Mira, the second one in the outfield in this half inning. These guys are really struggling to find the ball in the lights. Again, the clouds aren't that low, especially compared to what we normally see out here on the Cape with the fog and the clouds that are literally as low as the lights are.
Very well could be the wind as well having an effect, but maybe the ball blending into the sky. Holcomb, the new batter from the right side. The first pitch, cut on and missed. Back into the glove of Lackey. Holcomb still looking for that consistency. 2 strikeouts so far today in the first and the fourth. Now his third time up. A close stance in the center of the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1 from Roman. A half swing as Holcomb thinks about it. Inside pitch gets past Lackey. And in the backstop, there's a battle between Hyannis and Bourne Bat Boys come. It seems Hyannis wins it. Temperature dropping here from Doran Park. It started just over 80, now in the mid-60s. Here's the 1-1 from Roman. He works on the first base side of the rubber. A hybrid windup he deals. High pitch, big swing by Holcomb. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. That's strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hyannis leading by 6 right now, 8-2 as we live in the bottom of the 6th inning. Holcomb takes his feet back into the dirt of the righty's batter's box. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Roman. Way inside, Holcomb dances his feet out of the way. Catches a bit of dirt before reaching the backstop, and a new ball returned for Richie Roman on the mound as he lets that one loose early. Roman, his last time out in relief against Harwich, allowed the only run for Harwich in that game. And pitched 2 innings, got 2 strikeouts. He's pitching really well so far against the Braves. The 2-2 pitch. High fastball. Holcomb couldn't catch up to it. Strike 3. And Bourne knock 1 off the lead of Harwich. The Harbor Hawks still up 8-2 as we keep it here and swing things to our sideline reporter in Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Thanks, Devon. The team went up to Boston yesterday for the annual Cape League Fenway Day, where the players get to take IO and BP in front of scouts from MLB. I had the opportunity to talk with Jimmy Keenan before the game, who had 3 home runs that went over the Green Monster. He hit 2 in a row, and he said, I just decided to go for it. It was a dream to hit over the Monster. He told me it was really cool that they all got to hit BP there because they hope to be playing in an MLB stadium one day. He said the 8-year-old version of himself would think it was really cool, but would also tell him he hopes to be there permanently one day. Devon?
Yeah, it was a really fun day yesterday at Fenway. Not only a cool experience for the players, but also for us interns who, for me, I saw Fenway for the first time in my life, one of baseball's greatest ballparks and one of sports' probably greatest relics. I think I'm still a fan of Wrigley, though.
Yeah, I've never been to Wrigley. It's one of those places I'd love to go, but my first time at Fenway a couple of years ago, it's a special place. You walk in, you're in those concourses, the very, very low ceilings in some spots, and places that just make no sense. It just reminds you that it's a very cool historic ballpark, and when you're in it, you fully feel that it's over 100 years old.
Well, Bourne will try and take some inspiration from their major league counterparts a little bit down the road. Boston have made some pretty good comebacks in their franchise history. Bourne down 6 right now against the Harbor Hawks. New pitcher on the bump for Bourne is Will Whelan. Adam, what do we need to know about him?
Left-hander out of the University of Minnesota, another guy that we have already seen pitch this season for Bourne, just like Marinero. He went in the opener against Harwich, and in that game, he came in as the last guy out of the bullpen and really shut things down, did not give up any runs in a pair of innings. He's a good pitcher. He really strike out a lot of batters. He has got good stuff, had 40 innings this past year at Minnesota. One of the most trusted arms for the Gophers.
So Marinero ends his day with 1 2/3. 2 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks and 1 K. First pitch from Whelan. A high breaking ball way into lefty's batter's box. That one's gonna clip Schaffner in the back almost. So not the start you want for Whelan, and he puts the leadoff on.
With that, all 9 Harbor Hawks and the starting lineup have reached base. And we are in the 7th inning with no outs. 8 runs on 8 hits. There's now been more free passes than hits for this Hyannis offense. It's a recipe for losing from this Bourne staff. 7 walks,